Hey everyone, and welcome back. I think a lot of us have been thinking about home improvement projects recently,
Mhm. Mhm.
sprucing up our spaces. And we thought it'd be fun to kind of take a deep dive into all the different ways
Yeah.
people are funding those dreams, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have the vision board, but another to, actually get the cash together.
Absolutely.
So we've got a ton of interesting sources for this deep dive, articles, research, real stories,
Yeah.
all about how people are making their home improvement dreams a reality.
Mhm.
And don't forget to check out our podcast page where
Yes.
you can find links to everything that we're discussing today.
It's amazing all the different options out there.
Right.
It really is.
So one of the things that really jumped out at us is this stat that 43% of homeowners
Wow.
are planning a project in the next 2 years.
That's a lot of people.
I know. So that means a lot of people are searching for funding options.
Absolutely. And they're all, trying to figure out what's best for them.
Right, exactly.
So many different ways to go.
Yeah, so let's kind of break it down.
Yeah.
I think, the most straightforward one that comes to mind is just using your savings, right?
Yeah.
Our sources say that 25% of homeowners are doing this, and I can see why no interest, no debt.
That's the dream, isn't it?
It's so appealing, right? But I'm curious, from your perspective, what are some of the maybe downsides or things people should consider if they're thinking about going this route?
Well, I think it's really important to think about your emergency fund
Oh, yeah,
because, you might have saved up enough to redo that kitchen.
right.
But what happens if, the car breaks down
Why, yeah.
or you have a medical expense?
Yeah.
Did you factor that into how much you really need in savings?
That's such a great point, because I think a lot of us, when we get excited about a project,
Yeah.
we get a little bit maybe tunnel vision.
Yeah, you just think about those beautiful countertops.
Right, exactly.
Not
Exactly.
the leaky faucet that might come a month later.
Yeah, so maybe the first question isn't what kind of tile do I want,
Mm.
but is my emergency fund really sufficient,
Right, exactly.
especially after this renovation?
Right, absolutely. Think ahead.
Okay, so that's savings.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk about something that's really popular these days, home equity.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like everyone's talking about home equity loans and HELOCs.
That's like the hot topic.
I know. And 32% of homeowners, according to our sources, are using these.
Wow.
So clearly there's something to it.
Yeah.
So why are these so popular? I mean, I get the appeal, right? The interest rates are usually pretty attractive, and you can often borrow quite a bit of money.
Right.
It's like your house suddenly becomes this powerful financial tool.
It does. It really does. But that power comes with, some responsibility, I think.
Yeah,
You have to
no.
remember, with a home equity loan or HELC, your home is the collateral. So, it's great you can use it to finance that big renovation, but you have to really understand your risk tolerance, make sure you can repay it, and really think about the current and future value of your home.
So it's not just about getting the lowest interest rate, but really understanding what you're signing up for.
Right, exactly. The long-term implications.
Okay, now, speaking of rates, one of our sources had this really interesting tip that I wanted to share.
Oh, tell me.
Don't just settle for your bank's offer on a HELOC or home equity loan.
Oh, good point.
Shop around.
Yes.
Compare rates from credit unions, online lenders, you name it.
You could save thousands.
You could potentially save thousands just by doing a little bit of research.
That's great advice.
Right. So little insider tips like that I think are really valuable.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to move on to something that sounds almost too good to be true. Cash out refinancing.
Okay.
You get a lower interest rate on your mortgage and cash for those projects.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
It does sound appealing, right? Especially when interest rates are low.
I know. But what's the catch?
Well, the catch is, even though your interest rate might be lower, you're essentially taking on a larger loan amount.
Oh, okay.
So you might have lower interest, but you're paying more over the life of the loan because of the larger amount you're borrowing.
So it's like a trade-off, right? You're getting more cash now, but you might be paying more overall in the long run.
Exactly. It's a balancing act.
Okay.
One of the sources had a really cool story about a homeowner who used a cash-out refi to, completely transform their luxury home.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. But what I thought was really smart was they used competing offers from other lenders to negotiate a lower rate with their bank.
Oh, that's savvy.
So it's like even in this complex financial transaction, you can still be strategic and get a good deal.
I love that. Yeah.
A little research goes a long way.
Okay, so we've talked about savings, home equity, cash out refi. Now I want to dive into something a little bit different. The Fannie Mae home style renovation loan.
Oh, yeah, that one's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a really good option for people who are tackling fixer-uppers
Okay.
or major renovations because it allows you to wrap the purchase cost of the home and the renovation costs into a single mortgage
Wow.
with a really low down payment, like 3%.
That's amazing.
Plus, it's available for investment properties, too.
So if you've got your eye on that diamond in the rough,
Exactly.
this could be a really good option.
It could be the key.
Yeah. Okay. But like anything, I'm sure there are some caveats.
Of course.
What are some of the things people should be aware of?
Well, you generally need good credit to qualify.
Okay.
The process can be a little more complex than a standard mortgage, and the interest rate might be a little higher compared to, say, a government-backed option.
Okay, so you really have to weigh the pros and cons.
Exactly.
All right, now let's shift gears and talk about government-backed options.
Okay.
Because who doesn't love the idea of free money, right?
Right. Everyone's looking for a grant.
I'm talking about government grants and loans for home improvement projects.
Yeah, it sounds great.
But sounds amazing. But
I think it's important to manage expectations because government programs often come with some pretty strict eligibility requirements,
okay.
usually targeting low to middle income homeowners or projects that focus on very specific improvements like energy efficiency or accessibility upgrades.
So it's not as easy as just like filling out a form and getting a check in the mail.
Not quite, no.
Okay.
But there are some fantastic programs out there that can make a huge difference for eligible homeowners.
Okay, so what are some of those programs?
Well, one option that really caught my eye is the FHA 203K loan, which is specifically designed for those fixer-uppers we were talking about.
Okay.
It allows you to roll the purchase price of a home and the cost of renovations into a single mortgage,
Wow.
insured by the Federal Housing Administration.
So for someone who's been dreaming of taking on that fixer-upper project, this could be huge.
It could be a game changer, especially for first-time buyers or those with, limited funds for a down payment.
Okay, so that's a really interesting one.
Yeah, it is. It really can open up some doors for people. What if you want to tackle a smaller project?
Okay.
Like not a full fixer-upper, but maybe a bathroom remodel
Yeah.
or a new deck, something mid-sized, and you don't want to use your home as collateral.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
So you don't want to get into a home equity loan or HELOC.
It feels like a catch-22 sometimes. You want to make the improvements,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily want to take on like a secured loan.
Exactly. And that's where personal loans can come in handy.
Okay.
They're great for folks who want to avoid putting their home on the line.
Right.
Plus, they're relatively easy to qualify for, and you can get the funds pretty quickly.
So no lengthy appraisal process or mountains of paperwork.
Exactly. It can be much smoother.
Okay, good to know.
But as with everything, there is a trade-off.
Uh-oh, there's always a trade-off.
Right. The convenience and accessibility often come with higher interest rates.
Okay.
And shorter repayment terms compared to those secured loans.
Okay, so you really got to run the numbers.
Absolutely. See if it works for your budget.
Okay, now I have to ask about this because our sources mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit hesitant
Okay.
using credit cards for home improvement.
Yeah.
Is that ever a good idea?
That's a tricky one, It's tempting with those rewards programs.
Oh, boy.
And those 0% APR introductory offers.
Yeah.
But, you got to be careful because those perks can be a bit of a smokescreen.
Right.
The real danger is those high interest rates that kick in if you don't pay off the balance within that promotional period.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Like you think you're getting this great deal and then all of a sudden
Right.
you're in debt.
Exactly. You're drowning in interest.
So proceed with extreme caution.
Definitely
Right.
have a rock-solid repayment plan. Be realistic about whether you can really pay that balance off before the high interest kicks in.
Okay, now I have to say, one of the things that really stood out to me when we were going through the sources was the stories about homeowners who were able to fund essential repairs despite having low incomes.
Oh, those stories are so inspiring, aren't they?
It's amazing.
They really show that even when finances are tight,
Yeah.
there are ways to make those essential improvements happen.
It takes creativity and resourcefulness, but it's possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. They were piecing together funding solutions,
Yeah.
government programs, carefully chosen loans, even community resources.
It's really inspiring, yeah.
It shows there's more than one way to get things done,
Okay.
even when things seem challenging.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of options here, but there's one more I want to touch on. Contractor and store financing.
Oh, yeah. The buy now, pay later deals.
These could be really tempting. because they sound so easy and convenient.
They do. They really do.
But I'm also a little bit wary.
I think that's wise.
Yeah, so what are the potential pitfalls here?
Well, I think the biggest things to watch out for are hidden fees
Okay.
and sky-high interest rates.
Right.
You know, they often have that promotional period.
Right, like no interest for the first 6 months.
Exactly. But if you don't pay off the entire balance in that time frame,
Oh.
those deferred interest charges, they can really get you.
It's like you get lured in by the convenience,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're hit with this massive debt.
You got to read the fine print.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really understand the terms and conditions before you sign.
Okay, so buyer beware on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about something I think a lot of our listeners are going to be excited about. Financing options for energy-efficient upgrades.
Oh, this is a good one.
I love this topic because it's amazing how many loan programs are available specifically for things like solar panels,
Right.
high-efficiency HVAC systems,
Yeah.
better insulation.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
It feels like a win-win.
Yeah. You help the environment and you save money in the long run.
Exactly. You reduce your carbon footprint, you contribute to a more sustainable future,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have lower utility bills.
Exactly. And who doesn't love that?
And the feel-good factor of knowing that you're doing your part for the planet, it's kind of like a bonus, right?
It's a nice bonus.
Okay, so I've heard about PACE loans,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm not entirely sure how they work.
Okay, so PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy.
Okay.
And it's a really cool financing mechanism because you repay the loan through your property taxes.
Oh, so instead of getting a traditional loan from a bank, you're basically financing it through your property taxes.
That's right.
Okay.
It's a great solution. You know, it makes it accessible to more homeowners. You can spread the cost over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And because it's tied to your property, it often comes with lower interest rates.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
This is like a win-win-win.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
game changer for sure.
So cool. I love these innovative solutions that are out there.
Me too. Me too.
I feel like we've covered so much ground today.
We have.
It's amazing all the different ways there are to fund these projects.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed.
I bet. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. How do you even start?
Well, I think the first thing you got to do is, you know, take a breath
Okay.
and figure out your goals and priorities.
But
What are you hoping to achieve with this renovation, right?
okay.
Are you just going for aesthetics?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to increase your home's value?
Yeah.
Is it about functionality,
Right.
comfort?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement,
Oh, yeah.
but you got to think about the big picture.
Right. And I think a lot of times we skip that step, honestly.
Yeah, it's tempting to
Yeah.
jump right into the fun stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Once you know what you want,
Yeah.
you can assess your financial situation, right?
Okay.
How much can you realistically afford to spend?
Mm.
Do you have savings? Do you want to take on debt?
Right. Are you comfortable with that?
Exactly.
Right.
And then once you know that, you
Yeah.
can start researching, comparing
Sure.
the pros and cons of all the different options.
Right. And that's where I think our podcast page comes in handy.
Absolutely.
We've got links to everything.
We've done the research.
Revenue programs, tips for comparing loan offers. So
Mm-hmm.
we've done the heavy lifting for you
Yeah, we tried to make it easy.
so you can focus on the fun stuff.
Exactly.
Now, I want to leave everyone with something to think about
Okay.
because we've talked about the how, like how to pay for it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the why is just as important.
Absolutely.
Why are you doing this renovation?
Is it to keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah, are you just trying to impress your neighbors?
Is it just about, you know, following the latest trends?
Yeah. Or is it about creating a space that you really love?
Right. A space that reflects your values.
Exactly.
Enhances your quality of life.
Right. So it's about making it work for you.
Mm-hmm. Your home should support your well-being. It
Okay.
should bring you joy.
I love that. Yeah.
So as you're going through this process,
Yeah.
keep coming back to that why.
Okay.
What's going to make your house feel like a home?
That's a great point.
It's not just about the money.
It's about what matters.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to chew on today.
We've covered a lot.
Savings, equity, government programs, all these innovative solutions like PACE loans.
Yeah, there are so many options.
So it's really about finding what works for you.
Absolutely. No right or wrong answer.
And remember, all those resources are over on the podcast page.
Mm-hmm. We've got you covered.
So don't forget to check that out. And until next time,
Happy renovating.
happy renovating, everyone.